Hey everybody. Like Jeff said, thank you for coming. I appreciate everyone making it out here, especially those of you who are on the agenda as speakers. For those who don't know, my name is Daniel White. I am on the board of directors for Ohioans for Concealed Carry, newsletter editor. I occasionally put out a podcast, one of the administrators on the forums, and a couple other things. There's a few things I wanted to talk about. One thing pretty hot right now in the forums is the Willowick and Northwood incidents with open carry. And I know a lot of you are following that pretty close. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for your restraint. I know some of you wanted to go forward and kind of sharpen the pitchforks, as somebody just mentioned. Yes. I have a small update on that, what's been going on. As you know, Willowick has pretty much been resolved. The chief of police out there followed through with his promise to send a letter to the Attorney General's office, and the law director sent a letter to the county prosecutor requesting that he request an opinion from the Attorney General. That hasn't happened yet, but we're waiting on that. In Northwood, we've kind of stalled there. They're doing an internal affairs investigation. We want to give them time to have that completed before we move forward to the next step with them. They're right now trying to determine whether or not the officer acted appropriately, which I'm sure I know everyone here's feelings about whether or not it was acting appropriately. As you know, we sent a letter to the Attorney General's office asking for the Attorney General to issue a training memorandum through the Ohio Peace Officers Training Commission to all law enforcement agencies in the state. According to a representative of that office that I spoke to, they will not be doing so. They claim that they don't send letters to all the departments issuing as a training memorandum. What they have said they will do is at all upcoming training sessions, continuing education for the police departments, they're going to bring up the issue of open carry there. And they're also going to be putting it in the next newsletter that they send out, just as a little article about it. I don't think many people here are going to be satisfied with that. So we're currently evaluating our options. My state representative, Matt Lundy, has been in contact with the Attorney General's office. We're going to try to get them to issue at least an opinion that we can reference, and then we'll take it from there. But there is always the possibility that we might have to do an open carry walk. And if that does happen, we'll let all of you know through the forums and the website, and hopefully we can count on your support. Okay, another thing I'd like to talk about briefly is our training site. Now, Jeff had talked about the forums. Does anybody here use our site, the training listings, ohioccwtraining.org? A couple people. I know there's at least one trainer here who lists his classes there, and a couple others do too. And it does work for us, but we've gotten a lot of complaints about the usability of it, particularly for people who come in and they're not used to the interface, how it works. So what we've decided to do is we are going to do a relaunch of the training site. That's going to happen sometime this upcoming week. We're going to be interfacing our training with the Google Calendars. I don't know if any of you have used those before, but instead of having a search-based form to look up for training, it'll be a calendar, and you look at the calendar and it's going to list the type of training and the city that it's located in. Find training near you, you click on it, and it'll bring up all the information about the class and let you sign up for it. It's going to be a little bit different, but we think it's going to be a lot more user-friendly for people when they're trying to find classes. So that's going to be coming up. We had hoped to launch it last week. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, so hopefully early next week, late next week at the latest. The next thing I have on my list is the Tony Gordon Memorial Award. Those of you who have attended all of our picnics know that each year we award the Tony Gordon Memorial Award in honor of Ohio resident Tony Gordon. Just a little bit of history. Tony Gordon gave his life to protect his then 13-year-old nephew during an attempted carjacking back in Dayton in August of 2003. And at the time, we were trying to get concealed carry passed in Ohio, and the head of the Highway Patrol had made a statement in the papers that you didn't need to carry a firearm in a motor vehicle because, as the very nature of it, you could just drive away. Unfortunately, while attempting to do just that, the carjacker fired and hit Tony. He was able to make it home and then died in his father's arms. Fortunately, his family was smart enough to blame the criminal and not blame the firearm, and they dedicated themselves to helping get concealed carry passed in Ohio. And they attended open carry walks and testified at the State House and did whatever they could to help get it passed. So in honor of Tony, we created the Tony Gordon Memorial Award, which is awarded to an Ohioan who does the most for going above and beyond while working to further gun rights in the state of Ohio. But before I announce who the winner of the award is this year, I'd like to just take a moment of silence for Tony and for all other victims of gun crime. Thank you. This year, the winner of the Tony Gordon Memorial Award unfortunately was unable to attend the picnic, but he did send a letter to us. Everybody here knows about House Bill 184, or Senate Bill 184 rather, the reform bill that just passed and made a lot of great changes for us. When we looked at all the people who have done a lot of great things for Ohio, we looked at the work of Senator Steve Buer and everything he did to push that bill through, get some good amendments put to it, get rid of bad amendments that people tried to ask, and just really work to improve the concealed carry laws in Ohio and enact Castle Doctrine and the retail establishment exemption for Class Ds, the public buildings we can carry in restrooms after September 9th, all of that. And so we felt that Senator Steve Buer was the almost unanimous choice for winning the Tony Gordon Memorial Award. Now, unfortunately, he was on vacation this week and wasn't able to attend. However, he did send a letter to us, which I'd like to read. I would also like to note that he sent this letter before knowing he had won the award. He still doesn't know, as a matter of fact. He'll find out when he gets back from vacation. But he writes, "I regret that I am not able to attend the Ohioans for Concealed Carry Party in the Park, but I would like to offer my words of support for and the appreciation of this organization's outstanding efforts. By working together, we have achieved much for our state and its citizens. Our forefathers believed that protecting oneself and one's family against violent threats is an ability that should be inherent to each American citizen. Therefore, upon our nation's inception, these leaders included in the U.S. Constitution the Second Amendment, which guarantees the right to bear arms. Since 1999, the mission of Ohioans for Concealed Carry has been to maintain this right for residents of our state. More importantly, through their work, they continue to recognize that bearing arms is as much a privilege as it is a right. By providing ongoing instruction on the proper use of firearms as well as safety education, OFCC helps to ensure more secure communities. Throughout my time in the legislature, I have shared OFCC's mission to preserve Ohioans' Second Amendment rights. Among the concealed carry-related legislation I have sponsored and supported is Senate Bill 184, or the Castle Doctrine. This bill reaffirms all law-abiding Ohioans' abilities to protect themselves and their families against intruders violating their homes. Also, Senate Bill 184 expands the rights of concealed carry licensees by making much-needed changes to Ohio's concealed carry law. With Senate Bill 184, the concealed carry cause has gained ground in our state, and it appears that it is experiencing success in other parts of the U.S. as well. For example, as I'm sure you know, just recently the U.S. Supreme Court ruled to rescind a weapons ban in Washington, D.C. In effect, the court upheld a fundamental American right as set forth in our Constitution. Again, I thank you for your invitation to share in OFCC's celebration of our rights as U.S. citizens and to recognize you for your involvement in Ohio communities and in our state government. I wish you the best of luck in all your endeavors. If you ever need my assistance in the future, please do not hesitate to contact my office. Sincerely, Steve Buer." So we thank the Senator for sending that letter, and he is this year's recipient of the Tony Gordon Memorial Award. We will have this forwarded on to his office. So round of applause for the Senator. Okay, and with that, I would now like to turn it over to OFCC Vice President and PAC Chairman, Brian Turok.